2,592 credits. That's what one day of video costs in this exact pipeline if you make every single clip the expensive way. I know, because I actually checked mine. For months, this channel has run entirely on AI video tools. Every clip you've ever watched from us came out of the same pipeline I'm about to open up. And for a long stretch, I generated video on autopilot, never once doing the math on what I was actually paying for, shot after shot, day after day. Here's the setup. On Higgsfield, there are two ways to get a moving shot into a video. Seedance 2.0 generates true AI video. The camera moves, the subject moves. It's a real 8-second clip with sound if you want it. At 1080p, standard mode, that runs about 72 credits. Nano Banana Pro generates a still image instead. One frame, camera frozen, for about 2 credits, confirmed on Higgsfield's own published pricing. That's not a small gap. That's roughly 36 times the price for roughly the same 8 seconds of screen time. 36 times. And here's the part that should genuinely bother you if you've been doing this the expensive way, in a fast-cut video, the kind that actually performs. Nobody watching can tell the difference. The reason is simple, and it's not a trick, it's just how attention actually works. Editing research on cuts shows every single cut produces a measurable spike in the viewer's brain. It's a free attention reset, and it's why a well-cut short-form video changes its shot roughly every 1.5 to 2 seconds. Hold any single framing longer than that, and the brain starts to habituate to it within 10 to 15 seconds, tune out, and drift. Which means the average viewer never watches any one clip for more than about 2 seconds before the cut takes over. Seedance's 8 seconds of real camera motion, you're using maybe 15 to 20% of it before the cut moves on. So I stopped generating a video clip for every shot and started generating stills instead, then animating them myself for free with FMPEG. Here's exactly how the swap works step by step, because the mechanics matter more than the idea. Step 1. Instead of a Seedance prompt, write a Nano Banana Pro still prompt, same shot, same composition, same lighting, just no camera movement instructions because a still can't move on its own. Step 2. Animate it locally with what's called a Ken Burns move, a slow zoom or pan applied entirely in FMPEG, completely free. The technical term is a zoom pan filter. You scale the image up, super sample it, then crop a moving window across it frame by frame. Zoom from 1.0 to about 1.12 over the shot's duration, and FMPEG renders that as smooth, continuous motion. It costs 0 credits because it isn't AI generation at all. It's math on pixels you already own. Push-in shots get a slow zoom in, pullbacks get a slow zoom out, and a tilt or a follow becomes a pan instead. You just match the animation to whatever camera move the shot originally called for, and the emotional intent survives even without a real moving camera. Step 3 is the one that actually changed how the videos looked, and it's the real trick, not just the idea of swapping formats. Don't animate one still and hold it for the whole shot. Cut one still into 2 or 3 different framings. A wide crop first, then a hard cut to a punched-in crop of that exact same image, sometimes a third crop from a completely different part of the frame. Because the source image is rendered at high resolution, you can crop into it more than once with 0 visible quality loss. 1-2 credit still now gives you 2 or 3 separate visual beats instead of 1. You're not just replacing video with stills, you're getting more cuts per dollar, and more cuts is exactly what keeps attention from decaying, because each hard cut is its own free attention reset. Step 4. If your video has a recurring character, and most of mine do, solve consistency once, up front, before anything else. Nano Banana Pro has no memory between generations, so describing a person the same way twice isn't enough on its own. The face still drifts shot to shot. The actual fix, generate that character's reference portrait once, then pass that exact image back in as a reference on every later shot of them. The face locks in properly. I generate that single reference shot before I generate a single other image in the project every time. Now, before you go delete every Seedance prompt in your project, I want to be straight with you. I'd be lying if I said this swap has no downside at all. A still, no matter how well you animate it, cannot do what real generated video does. A person turning their head sharply, standing up, reaching for something, recoiling, a hand slamming a desk. That kind of motion needs an actual camera, capturing actual movement across real frames, and a Ken Burns pan simply can't fake it. It can only glide across a frozen moment, however cleverly you crop it. Swap 100% of your shots to stills, and your one true peak moment, the beat the entire video has been building toward, will look exactly as flat as every filler shot sitting around it. That's worse than just paying for the video in the first place, because now you've spent almost nothing and it still doesn't land. So here's the actual rule, not the shortcut version people want to hear. Swap the boring 80% of your shots. Keep real video for the one moment that genuinely has to move. Do the math on what that's actually worth, with real numbers instead of vague savings talk. A typical shot in this pipeline runs about 9 shots. Shoot all 9 in Seedance, and that's 9 times 72, 648 credits for the visuals alone, before you've even added narration or music. Shoot it in stills instead, with one video clip reserved specifically for the peak beat, and it's 8 stills at 2 credits, plus 1 clip at 72. 88 credits total. Same 9 shots. Same finished video on screen, arguably a more dynamic one because of the extra crop cuts. 86% cheaper from one production decision. Scale that to however often you actually post. One video a day for a month, in that mix mode instead of all video, is roughly 2,600 credits saved. More than a full month's credit allowance on some Higgsfield plans, recovered entirely from a single habit change, with nothing new to buy and nothing new to learn how to use. None of this needed a new tool or a new subscription. Same account, same models, same render pipeline. Just a different deliberate choice about which 8 seconds of screen time are actually worth paying 36 times more for. Cheap doesn't mean it looks cheap. It means the viewer's eye is already gone by the time the expensive part of a clip would even start playing. So you stop paying for motion nobody was ever going to watch in the first place. If you make any kind of short-form video with AI tools, go open your last project right now and actually total up what you spend per shot. Then ask yourself honestly, was that a moment that genuinely needed real motion? Or would a 2-credit still, cut into 2 or 3 angles, have looked exactly the same on a phone screen? Subscribe to Synthop's. I break down what's actually working in AI content production, not the hype version of it. What's the one shot in your last video that genuinely needed real motion? Tell me in the comments and I'll tell you honestly whether it was actually worth the credits.